Hello and welcome back to the original Larry D's Food for Thought. Today we're going to be, as usual, reading out of that old King James Bible. We'll be reading out of the Old Testament and from the New Testament to the law and to the testimony. I'll also be going over a few scriptures today concerning the title. You can run, but you can't hide, not even your thoughts from God. You can run, but you can't hide, not even your thoughts from God. Okay. I am going to share these scriptures with you right quick. You can jot them down if you want to. But yeah, I'm telling you something, man. People be doing all kinds of crazy stuff, man, thinking they getting away with it. Yeah, you might beat the law, but I tell you what, the Lord see what you're doing, and believe you me, if you don't repent, excuse me, repent and stop doing what you're doing. Hey, the Lord got something waiting on you. All right. But you think about doing something crazy, you think the Lord don't already know. He already know what you're gonna do before you do it. Why? Because you done thought about it in your mind, that evil thing that you're gonna do. And the Lord see your thoughts. I know a lot of people say, oh, LD, Lord can't read my mind. Yeah. I tell you what, we are going to go over these scriptures today, and then you decide if he can see into your mind or not. Because you got to understand something. Look, when Lord made us, he know every intricate part about us. You think he can't read that big brain? Tell you something. After we finish these scriptures, you might have a change in mind. All right. But anyway, I'm gonna stop sharing these. And we are going to go over these scriptures right here, man, and see if we can get a tad bit of understanding on it. Cause I'm gonna tell you something, man. You can't hide from this God, not the Lord God of Israel. Say, is it anything too hard for him? No way. All right. But let's take a look at these scriptures here. See what we can find out. All right. We're gonna start this in Genesis. Genesis, the sixth chapter. And let's see, I'm going to start reading at verse 5. And it reads, look, and God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth. Now, this was back during Noah's time, okay? When the world, man, I'm going to tell you, Lord destroyed the earth by water, and he had Noah to build that ark, and Noah's righteousness saved him, his wife, his three sons, and and their wives. Okay. Why? Because of his righteousness. The Lord looked in there, he saw his mind. But let's see what he said here. And that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. I'm going to read it again. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. The thoughts of his heart. What is that? This is a blood pumper in here. That heart there. He talking about the heart of your mind. Okay. He reads your mind. He know your thoughts. He said every imagination. How would he know that if he can't read those guys' evil thoughts? Hmm? Okay. But look, and it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. See, it grieved him in his mind, in the Lord's mind. He said, man, it grieved him that he done made this man. The man was so wicked. Okay, look. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. So you know this earth was wicked, man. Look, verse 8. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with God. He kept God's laws, his statutes, everything the Lord said he did it. Okay. But he was righteous in the eyes of the Lord. Okay. So, hey, he saved his whole household. And that's why us, is us men, and the head of our household. We got to be careful what we do. Or we can bring a reproach on our whole household. Okay. On the things that we do. So that's why we need to walk uprightly before God all the time and keep our thoughts pure because the Lord is looking. He said from heaven, he looked down to see if anybody seek him. And look, he know in your heart, he know in your mind what you thinking. Okay? But let's go a little bit further here because we're going to dive a little bit deeper in it. Excuse me. And see, let you know, man, hey, you ain't hide from this guy. You can run all you want to. You can run, but you can't hide. You know? Look, this is Proverbs, Proverbs 6, and start reading at verse 16. And listen, it reads, These six things doeth the Lord hate. Yeah, seven on abomination unto him. But I'm gonna just read one. Look, verse 18. And heart, a mind that devises wicked imaginations. You see that? Look, feet that be swift and run into mischief. Now, you know what you're gonna do, right? He said, a mind that devises wicked imaginations. So you think he ain't looking at your mind? He know what you thinking. All right, but let's go even further. Let's go over here to let's go to Isaiah right quick. Going to Isaiah 66. And I'm gonna read one verse right here, verse 18. Now you listen to this one. Look, for I know thy works. This is the Lord speaking through the mouth of Isaiah. He telling him, look, this is what the Lord said. I know. Look, for I know thy works and their thoughts. You see that? And their thoughts. All right. It shall come that I will gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my glory. That's when the Lord gonna come back. Excuse me. And he's gonna be doing some serious killing. You know, I could have read up a little few scriptures there and tell you that, hey, it's future right here, man. That he was talking about when he coming back, man, and take a whole lot of people out. Okay, but he's saying right here, he said, man, he said, I know that works and that thoughts. Well, you ain't hiding your thoughts from God. No way. All right. But let's go back to Proverbs right quick. I still got something else I want to show you right here. This is Proverbs 15. Proverbs 15, and I want to read one verse, verse 26. And it reads, listen, the thoughts of the wicked are an abomination to the Lord, but the words of the pure are pleasant words. Okay. But he said, the thoughts of the wicked are an abomination. His thoughts, how do you know they thoughts if he ain't reading them? Okay. Telling you something, man. I hope you beginning to see. Look, that's why he tells us we got to keep our thoughts pure, man. Watch the thing. Don't be thinking wicked about your brother or your sister. Okay? Don't be thinking wicked thoughts, man, because Lord looking at that. Okay? And you keep on doing it, pretty soon you're gonna act on it. So therefore, don't even think about it. Okay? Keep those thoughts pure. All right, now Proverbs 21. And I got one verse I want to read here. Proverbs 21 and verse 2. And it reads, look, every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth the heart. He pondereth the mind. He search it out. Okay? So every little deep thought, secret thought, he know it. Okay? Keep that in mind. But let's go take a look at a little example of where the Lord had read somebody's mind. Let's see here. Let's go to Matthew's, the ninth chapter. I want to take a look at this. And right here, this was a woman that was sick. And she was trying to get her best to get to the Lord, man. And let's see what happened right here. This is Matthew's 9. And I'm going to start reading at verse, wait a minute, hold up. Let's see, am I right here? The wrong place. No, I'm sorry. We're gonna look at that next. I got something prior to that. This is Matthew's 9 and 3. Yeah, we're gonna take a look at this. The Lord was looking at these guys, man. He was looking at their thoughts. Check this out. This is Matthew 9 and 3, and it reads, look, and behold, certain of the scribes said within themselves, they thinking in their mind to themselves, look, said within themselves, this man blasphemeth. Look, verse 4. And Jesus, knowing their thoughts, said, wherefore think ye evil in your heart? Why you thinking evil thoughts in your mind? Okay? He said, and Jesus, knowing their thoughts. See that? You can't hide them thoughts from God. Everywhere we done read, man, he letting you know, hey, I can read your mind. All right. But let's go further here. I want to go over here and show you this example first. Then I'm gonna come back to Matthews. This is going to, let's see where we're going here. Going to Genesis, going back to Genesis. And going to Genesis, let's see, Genesis 18. Take a quick look at this here. Now, this right here is when the Lord and those two angels that came down there to the earth to see Abraham, gonna come there and leave a message with Abraham, and he was letting him know about well, he's gonna let him know about Sodom and Gomorrah too, but we're not gonna look at that. We're just gonna be looking at something that happened here when he was talking to Abraham. Okay, and his wife Sarah was listening. All right. Now this is Genesis 18. And let's see here. Genesis 18, we're gonna start reading at let's see here. We'll start reading at verse 9. And it reads, listen. And they said unto him, where is Sarah, thy wife? And he said, behold, in the tent. So they asked Abraham, where's your wife Sarah at? He said, well, she's sitting in the tent in there. Okay, verse 10. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life, and lo, Sarah, thy wife, shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door, which was behind him. So she was sitting in the tent, she was listening to them. She heard what they said, what the Lord said, hey, when come back, you're gonna have a son at a certain time. Look, verse 11. Now Abraham and Sarah were old and were stricken in age. Okay, that's pretty old. It was in their 90s, all right? And it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women. So in other words, she said, I'm too old to be having some children now. Okay. Verse 12, look, therefore, Sarah laughed within herself. She laughed in her mind. She laughed, look, saying, after I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure? My Lord being old also? He says, shall we have pleasure old as we is? Look, and the Lord said unto Abraham, wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I of a surety bear a child which am old? So you see that? He said, wherefore did Sarah laugh? Okay. Okay, verse 14. Look, is anything too hard for the Lord? He asked. At the time appointed, I will return unto thee according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. Then Sarah denied, saying, I laugh not, for she was afraid. And he said, nay, but thou didst laugh. You see that? So she laughed in her mind and was thinking about how old they were and wasn't going. She can't have no more pleasure on Abraham. And the Lord said, oh, why did you laugh in your mind? Why did you laugh? And why did you say that? And he said, yeah, you did laugh. So, hey, he read her thoughts, man. Okay. But let's go a little bit further here. Uh, let's go to Psalms right quick. I marvel at that, man. 'Cause I mean, man, shoot, man, man can't read our thoughts, but the Lord can, man. And I mean, it's quite obvious. I mean, it's just easy as one, two, three, A, B, C. Then man. Hey, God look right into your mind, man. See everything, know everything you thinking. Okay, that's why you got to keep them thoughts pure. All right. Now let's go to Psalms 53 right quick. I want to show you something here. Let's see, Psalm 53. Let me get over here. Psalm 53. I'll start reading at verse 1. Listen. The fool has said in his heart, the fool said in his mind, there is no God. Corrupt are they, and have done abominable iniquity. There is none that doeth good. God looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any that did understand, that did seek God. He's looking down from heaven, man. He's seeing if you seek him. And he said, look, that fool, man, he done said in his mind that there is no God. So how did the Lord know that? Because he looked in his mind and saw it. Listen to what he's thinking. All right? Plain and simple. All right? Now, let's go back to Matthew. There was something there else I want to show you that. This is Matthew's, back to the ninth chapter right quick. Back to Matthew 9. And I'm going to start reading. Now, this lady was sick, man, and she was trying to get her way to the Lord. Let's take a look at this. This is Matthew 9 and 20, and it reads, look, and behold, a woman which was diseased with an issue of blood 12 years, okay, came behind him. She came behind the Lord, look, and touched the hem of his garment. Verse 21. For she said within herself, she said within her mind, if I may but touch his garment, I shall be whole. She said, if I just touch his garment, man, I'm going to be healed, right? Verse 22, look, but Jesus turned him about, and when he saw her, he said, daughter, be of good comfort. Thy faith has made thee whole. And the woman was made whole from that hour. She was healed from that hour right there. He didn't, he didn't, say, woman, I know what you're thinking. He just said simply, he say, your faith done healed you. Because she done thought in her mind, she said it within herself, hey, if I can just touch the hem of it, God, I'm going to be healed. I'm going to be whole, right? Lord heard that. Okay? You can't hide them thoughts. You can run, but you can't hide. Okay? All right. Well, let's go to this last place right quick. Let's go to Isaiah. I'm going to Isaiah 55. I want to show you this. Isaiah 55, I'm start reading at verse 7, and it reads, let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. Okay? And let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our God, for he will abundantly pardon. See that? Look, 8. For my thoughts, Lord say his thoughts, okay? For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, said the Lord. Verse 9, for as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. The Lord said his thoughts are way higher than ours. How do you know that? Because he can read your mind. Okay? So now, I hope by now, with all these scriptures we done read about how the Lord can indeed look into that brain of yours and read your mind, I hope you understood this. And be careful of those thoughts. Keep your thoughts pure. Okay? So with that food for thought, think on these scriptures and words throughout the course of the day. And until next time, peace.